Okay. Right, thanks, Bert. So, hello, I'm Paul. I've come over from Cambridge in the UK to talk to you today about eLife. So, I joined eLife last year as head of technology, as Bert said, after a career working on large-scale systems in the music industry, and found quite a lot of parallels actually in that, a lot of people are talking about disruption, about open source software, and so you're going to hear open source quite a bit in my talk too. So first of all, a little bit about eLife. So the person that says it best for me is Sir Mark Walport, the British Chief Science Officer. The creativity, imagination and doing the experiments is what eLife is about. So it's originally set up as a collaboration between some of the funders and scientists in life sciences and biomedical sciences, and the idea was to address some problems with scholarly communication, and do that through using technology and also new ideas and new processes, but the main thing being that scientists were in control. So our editor-in-chief, Randy Sheckman, set the organisation up, and then we've built up a team of around 30 staff in the UK now that run and build all the technology that we use. So the problems that we're trying to solve were around research communication, were all to do with the slow dissemination of information, the way that incentives are made in people further in their careers, and the fact that people were trying to compete with each other rather than collaborate. So that is the underlying ethos around all the things that we do at eLife. And we have a very clear mission. It's so clear to us that we've painted it on the wall. So when you walk in the office every day, you have to walk past this, which means I should probably memorise it. But so it's about helping scientists accelerate discovery by operating a platform for research communication that encourages and recognises the most responsible behaviours in science. And for us, everything we do then all links to that, and we have some really good processes that make sure that what we're doing and what we're building all lead onto this mission. So we're a non-profit, and everything we do is open source, so this all can be furthered to what we do. So kind of the first 5 years are all about setting up the journal, getting a reputation for ourselves, getting some publications under our belt, and we're now publishing around 100 articles a month now, which is fantastic, and it's growing all the time. So the responsible behaviours that we talk about, though, are things around sharing data and tools, ensuring that people are cooperating and giving constructive feedback, and allowing scientists to really build on each other's work as quickly and easily as possible. One of the successes we had early on was with some of the research around Zika virus was able to be used within the field quite quickly because of the turnaround, the peer review process that we have, and the fact that we can use continuous publication. So as soon as something is accepted and peer reviewed, we publish the author's manuscript as what we call a publish on acceptance, and then we put the typeset version of that onto eLife as soon as that's been ready from our content processors. So we really try and minimise this feedback loop, and which sits really well for me. My background's in lean software development, and shorter feedback loops, iterations, things like that are what we've been about. So we've now, after the first 5 years, now trying to apply that to the technology we build, and we've set up a couple of initiatives recently. Our product team have an innovation initiative where our innovation officer, Naomi Penfold, who you may have met, travels the world basically, going to conferences not dissimilar to this, finding people to collaborate on interesting projects. We run hack days, we sponsor hack days, and we found great ideas, and I'll cover those shortly in a minute. But first, just to take a quick look at eLife. So this is what eLife looked like yesterday, because about an hour and a half ago, we managed to launch the new version of eLife, which looks like this. And the reason that it's all spread out nicely on these number of mobile devices is that it's built mobile first. It's built with a very small page budget. Now, I've been told a page budget is quite an interesting thing in publishing, that it's all about the number of printed pages, but what we talk about is kilobytes. So the amount of content being streamed down for each article has to be less than 300 kilobytes, which is really small. It means that when you're working in the field on sporadic connections, that you can still get access to this content really quickly. So if you load up eLife now, you'll see how quickly it loads on your mobile phone over any type of connection, and it changes and adapts to the device that you're on, so that you can use it wherever you are on any type of device, even something that's old and has got the power of the iPhone and the iPad that we're showing on here. So a quick look at the way that we have been designing the new site, it's all been very user driven. We've done extensive user testing with scientists of all different fields, different ages, different lengths of tenure, and one of the main things that we noticed that they didn't like clutter. They didn't like site furniture. What they wanted to do was read the content, the science itself. So you can see this has been really pared back. Got another view here where you can see that it gets you down to the content. One of the interesting points we found in our user research was that the sidebar content, as you see there on that article, most people just thought they were adverts, so they were ignoring them. So we've got one piece of sidebar content, and that is the one most important related article for that article that you're reading right now. Everything else is in stream in the rest of the text. So, and it makes quite a difference when people are looking at that sort of thing. So we're hoping to report some findings on how the difference it's made, whether people are more engaged with our content, whether it's making a difference as we get more visitors on the site after the launch this morning. So just another little view on some of the things we've managed to create there is these are kind of landing pages that are very subject specific. You could call them a journal within a journal. There's a comparison between the new one on the left and what it looked like before. We've also got a search engine that we've been able to tailor. So we get a lot of visitors via Google Scholar or other scholarly search engines, but we've built our own search engine in there to promote content that is around the scholarly articles, and also so that we can improve discoverability through the relationships between the articles as well. So it kind of has our own take on that. And this is kind of one of the main things that we're trying to push at the moment. So as well as eLife and the new look and feel, we've got our labs initiative, which is what I was talking about earlier, and we've been looking at new projects. So a new initiative we want to look at is Science Fair, which uses our lens viewing model to enable you to download content offline and share it on a peer-to-peer basis. So if you are out in the field somewhere and you haven't got access to internet connection to share documents between your colleagues, you can do that on a peer-to-peer basis. So it's kind of thinking again how people do access scientific content. And then we're collaborating with Hypothesis, so our good friends here on the panel, and we'll be integrating their great annotation software into the journal itself to try and give that more journal-led view of annotation. And it kind of replaces the comment section we've got now to give it a lot more granularity. So just to finish, I'll talk a little bit about what Kristen was talking about. So eLife Continuum is the name of our open source software that powers eLife. It's a platform that allows publishers to be able to adapt to use their content in different ways. And one of our goals is to try and commoditize the publication of scholarly content so people can add their own value onto these things. And one of the interesting things it adds is a machine-readable API as well as the user interface you've seen today, so you can build applications on these quite easily. As I said, it's built in a modular fashion, and it's incredibly cheap to run. So it costs us around $300 to $400 a month on Amazon Web Services to run it, completely based in the cloud, all run on demand. So there's no initial setup cost. You can run it in parallel to other services, and it stays quite cheap. Excuse me. And then the other main thing about it is it's community maintained. It's open source, and we're expecting people to want to contribute back to it and also offer it as a service. So we won't be a service provider for it, but we're hoping people will take it on and provide that service for people. So I'd say, excuse me, it's free open source software, and there's more details there. So just a quick look at the granularity that we've been talking about. And you can see here each of these great steps on the publication platform are all separate modules, so you can use it for just submission to things like cross-reference from PMC if you wanted to. You can add in your own steps. You can link it into an existing system. It's all event-based and quite easily to jump in. And then, the publication side, you can see there that anything in green is to do with publishing the scholarly content. Anything in purple is around discovery of all that content. Anything else is around enhancing the content through features and editorial content. So, and every single piece on there is a separate piece that you can just take as a module and plug it in and build it up like Lego blocks, and just like the stuff that Kristen was talking about. So you could quite easily take lots of different open source projects and build something, integrate into an existing system, and use it as you like. So yeah, that's it from me. I just want to leave you with one thing from our founding editor-in-chief, is that the impact we cherish is discovering science. So everything we do and is shared so that people can go on and take that with them and use it elsewhere. So thank you very much.